cropped it at the knee, he's got his like...
Michael Wilkinson is the costume designer for Watchmen. You know, he's super talented, and I really respect him a lot. And he had his work cut out for him on this because I believe that aesthetically audiences have moved pretty far down the road toward what a superhero costume looks like.
It was a pretty mammoth task getting it all together because we had to cover different decades from the 20th century. The film starts in 1938 and goes forward to 1985. So for each decade, we had to try and get some iconic looks from each period that really sort of summed up the period so the audience would get a very clear idea as we jump cut back and forward throughout the decades exactly where we were in the 20th century. So when you think about someone like Sally Jupiter, we see her all the way back in 1938, and then she has, I think, 8 or 9 different costumes as we go through the different decades. So we built a lot of things for Carla. We sourced some vintage pieces, we mixed them together to create our character, which was a lot of fun. In gathering together the costume stock for the film, we really tried to take our starting point from the graphic novel. We wanted to be very respectful to the source material. So it affected a lot of our choice of colors. We really tried to keep within the greens, the purples, the murky sort of secondary colors that are in the graphic novel. But we also tried to really give a real sense of period authenticity to the movie, because it was important for us that we wanted to represent the 20th century as it was if there had really been superheroes.
And we really needed to be faithful to the original designs and time period, but I think we needed to address what my parents or my neighbors knew about superheroes and what they expected, and sort of that iconology of what a superhero is. Michael really arrived at costumes that kind of were able to do both.
In designing the superheroes for this film, they had to have a sense of humanity and unusually sort of detailed texture to them. We didn't want them to feel like they were all airbrushed and from another universe. They were very much real too. So when you see the street clothes next to the superheroes, you can see that there's a link of humanity between them. That applies to all of the costumes really for the film. We really wanted to have a real lived-in, gritty feel to it to convey the sense of the late 20th century being in this very paranoid, desperate sort of position on the brink of like nuclear disaster. So that's what we tried to convey in the costumes.